The Biden administration has opened America's borders to the world, and pretty much no one is doing anything about it as our democracy evaporates and our nation changes forever. But there are a few states, governors, who are doing something to protect their citizens from the effect of mass illegal immigration. And no one's doing more than the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. DeSantis just announced new proposals to stop the flow of criminal migrants into his state. Here are some of them.
We have a responsibility to stand up for the rule of law. We have a responsibility to stand up for the Constitution, and we have a responsibility to stand up against an administration that has just decided they don't want to have a secure border. You know, you don't get to make that decision. The laws of our country require us to enforce the law, and that's what needs to be done.
Well, exactly. You don't get to make that decision if you're the executive. You don't make laws. You have to abide by them. Governor DeSantis is abiding by federal law in the state of Florida. He joins us tonight. Governor, thanks so much for coming on. I know you're a detail man. With the one thing we almost never get from politicians. So if you could explain to the audience what exactly you're doing in the state to protect your citizens.
Sure, Tucker. For one, any of these contractors that are facilitating Biden's illegal policies by bringing people into Florida, oftentimes flying in at 2 o'clock in the morning with no notice to the state, anyone who's doing that forfeits the ability to have contracts with state and local government in the state of Florida, and they're going to be responsible for providing restitution to the state of Florida for every single person that they bring, because when they dump somebody, a lot of costs end up being borne by the state in the future, whether that's education, healthcare, whether that's the criminal justice system. Unfortunately, we had somebody brought from Biden that murdered somebody in Jacksonville just a few weeks ago. And so we're very concerned about doing that. And we want to basically say, this is not the right decision to be making, to be facilitating, which is basically an illegal human smuggling operation. We're also saying to some of the institutions in Florida, like nonprofits, we're not going to be giving license to folks who are actively helping Biden do this. And so we want people focusing on our own citizens. A lot of people do a lot of great work. We've got a lot of people in our state that need help, and we can't just have people who are from foreign countries displacing the needs of our own people.
Well, exactly. And it is a massive federally sponsored human smuggling operation, and it's illegal. What kind of, so you're taking concrete steps that will enrage the White House. Do you anticipate some kind of legal conflict with them?
Well, we're already in legal conflict with them. We have a lawsuit against them. I will say they have already switched from what they had been doing as a result of our lawsuit. They had been giving people a notice to report. You come illegally, they give you a sheet of paper, they say, hey, call us and schedule a hearing sometime with no consequences. Well, obviously, that is toothless. They now have shifted to doing what's called a notice to appear. Once somebody doesn't appear, then they are deportable without any additional process. Now, I don't think Biden would deport them, but perhaps when we have a change of administration, you would then be able to return these folks back. So we are locked in litigation there. I have no doubt that they'll try to do something to trip us up. But here's the deal, Tucker. Yes, the federal government's got a lot of authority on immigration. But if they're not doing their job, if they're forfeiting their responsibilities, I just don't think states should be in a position where we're helpless and we can't do anything. So we anticipate conflict, but you can't just run away from that and say you're not going to do nothing. The easiest thing for me to do would just be to put out tweets, put out press releases, you know, complain about it. But I think people want to say, let's do something about it. So I think we're going to have some success. I think there'll obviously be some things we're going to have to overcome in the courts or whatnot, but that's fine. I'd rather be fighting to get things done than to just forfeit before we even play the game.
Well, that's exactly right. And I think a lot of people are starting to conclude who your governor is may make a bigger difference than who your president is. And I hope other governors will pay attention to what you're doing. Ron DeSantis of Florida, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.